Hello there. Hello, hello. Should be live. Let me take a second and make sure that the connectivity is working and then let us get started. All right. Good, good, good. If you are watching me live right now, I'll check my phone. If it's even working, never take it for granted if you're watching me live. Come in and say hi. Say hi, Sonal. Welcome to Supercharged Fridays. And welcome back if you've been here before. I'm just putting on my uh, camera and making sure that everything works. If it does, do let me know in the comments that it is working so I know I'm not alone. Welcome back. Welcome back to Supercharged Fridays. And if this is your first time, happy you're here. My name is Sonal Bell. I'm a career strategist and former HR director, and I help you find your next position that actually is exciting, pays well, gets you fulfilled and happy and actually looking forward to Monday morning. If that is even possible, yes, it is. And that's what I do. So, welcome into my orbit. Lots and lots of information you can check out on my website. So, go to superchargeyourself.com and you'll find everything in there. And if you've been here before, how are you? How was your week? Even if you haven't been here before, you can just drop in a message. Just drop in and say hi and let me know how your week has been. In one word, I like challenging like that. I am 5 minutes late. If you were waiting for me, I am so appreciative of you joining me and waiting. And I apologize that I made you wait. I was actually making my perfect cup of tea. If you follow me on LinkedIn, you're going to know what I'm talking about because I posted something along these lines yesterday. So before it becomes cold, it's piping hot. It's a piping hot cup of tea. So I'm going to take a sip and do justice to it. Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect. So welcome, welcome back. Thank you, Risto, for being here. Risto is in Finland, and I hope you're well, Risto. You have come back with a couple of other beautiful books you've written. I know one is on midlife, and maybe we should have you back. And just as I started the live stream, a bee decides to join me in my room, which is one of the joys of having a warm day. That's what happens on a warm day. Yeah, thank you. Secret, especially with women, bad hair day equals cap. That's what's happening. So thank you for being here. Hi, busy application week. Oh, good. Let me know what that means and how I can help. So basically, what do we do in these live streams? We hang out, and if there's anything that you need help with, usually career related, that's kind of my jam, right? If it's like personal stuff, relationship stuff, there are others who are better at that than I am. But if it's like career stuff, maybe you want to chat about something, I'm here. And maybe you don't want to chat, you want to watch, you want to see others, what they're asking. That is fine as well. You know, one day when you feel ready, you're welcome to drop in. But if you feel a bit shy, maybe if you're following me on LinkedIn and if you're like, oh gosh, if I write something, then my network is gonna know that I commented and they're gonna know I'm looking for a job. And if that makes you feel awkward, no worries. This is a very safe space. What I recommend you do super tactically is actually go to YouTube. If you have a Gmail account, by default, you have a YouTube account, go and find me live there. You will, if you go to my channel, Supercharge Yourself, you're going to find it there and you're going to see that I'm live. Drop in with your comment. Okay. And obviously don't have your like very obvious like first name, last name in your username. If you want privacy, not the best approach. Anyway, what is happening? If you have a question, come in. And if you don't have a question, I shall take your leave because I'm not in the business of like hanging out and just talking for the sake of talking. I want to see how I can help you, right? So for sure. Did I get a question? Hi there. Can you tell me firstly, how do I call you? What do I call you? Right? Do I call you Dodi? Do I call you something else? And if you're watching me in the comments right now, and if you're thinking about a question, here's a quick like sort of recommendation on how you can ask, right? This way we make the most of our time together. So this is the way my coach talks about it. My problem is X, my ideal outcome is Y. my question is Z. This way, we are both clear on what it is you're looking for, versus like just ranting, which is okay. You're okay to rant as well. But if you have a question in there, don't disguise it. It's always a good idea to structure your question so that it's easier for the person who's listening. Okay, so let me know what I should call you because I like, calling out your name. If you're never asked when is the best time to bring up compensation in interviews via the phone to the recruiter, hmm if you are never asked, first phone contact to organize the interview during hiring manager interview or final panel or only on the offer? Okay, very good question. I personally, of course, you talk to 10 people, you'll get 10 different pieces of advice. Okay. I personally have one of my golden rules, and that is when it comes to negotiation and asking, like when it comes to the early stages of an interview, as a candidate, I prefer not to be the first one that brings up compensation. I just don't usually find the need for it because they are more interested to know if they can afford you or not. They do not want to go through the whole song and dance only to reach the end and realize, oh, shucks, our budget is, I don't know, 150,000 and this person's at 220,000. What were we thinking? And they're going to look like buffoons in front of their management. So usually recruiters are quite um, methodical about finding out salary expectations upfront, right? They are not interested in wasting their time and looking like buffoons. Honestly, who is, right? So if that hasn't come up yet, that tells me a little something. Okay, that tells me, is this position even serious? Hmm. Sometimes I've seen this with my very like senior level clients. They go through 2 rounds, 3 rounds, and nobody brought up compensation. And he said, do I bring it up? And I said, no, wait. And it turned out later they kept him waiting. They were not serious. They found an internal candidate. They were wasting their time. But he got something out of it. He got 2 rounds, 3 rounds, particularly, he was out of touch with the interviewing world. So I always think that it ends for the best. I wouldn't say he wasted his time, but more often than not, they're not interested in wasting their own time. So I would say this is a trick question for me. I do not want you to be the one who asks. Wait for the offer. Yes, then you've got them where you want them, right? And it is much easier to say, and then I have a whole like method. I have a whole like formula on how to ask once you get the offer. It is much easier to talk about this when you have the offer because some people confuse that like the formal process of negotiation begins from the very moment they say when is your what are your salary expectations. That's the informal unwritten part of the negotiation that begins, but the formal part of negotiation only begins when you have actually something serious on the table, because that means they have no one else. They may have a strong number two, but they only have one number one, and that's you. So that's a completely different story, and it's fantastic when that happens. Till then, you just want to make sure that if you like the role, you want to make sure that they love you, like they fall in love with you. So when the topic of money comes up, there is no like problem because they are like, yeah, when can you start? We don't care. We'll make an exception. I've seen that happen. I've seen that happen more frequently than you'll realize. I would focus more on that instead of wondering about the compensation because they are more worried about that usually than you are. I hope that helps you. Yeah. Let me know if you have any other views on this. And if anything else is coming up for you, what else is happening, feel free to ask me inside the chat. And I'm also going to check, is it possible that you actually have been typing? Because LinkedIn seems to be a little quiet, which is okay. That happens once in a while. Today is a particularly hot day, and I'm actually happy to get out again. I just came back after like an hour and a half of because when you work from home, you really need to make sure that you move your body. And now I have my work. I'm going to be working till about 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. today. So anyway, I got a couple more minutes. We can hang or not, or not. Let me know if you have. Why does it feel crooked? No, very quiet. I shall go then. Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. Good luck, good luck, good luck. All right. Fab. I think I missed a comment earlier. Kanishk. Hi, Kanishk. I saw a video on salary negotiation yesterday and I got a 105% hike. Thank you so much. Wow. Wow, Kanishk. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. This is amazing. I'd like to hear more about how you did this. Okay. If you're still watching live, feel free to share inside the comments. And get in touch with me on LinkedIn because I want to feature these kind of stories. I love these kind of stories and I'd like to hear more about this, right? Because a lot of people think that it takes a certain type of person to negotiate. um, I mean, I have so many examples of cases where people got amazing, amazing results without like working with me, and that's great. I think money, you get access to money. Money is good. Okay, money can do a lot of good. There's a lot of power in money. I think my only ask here would be, Kanishk, if you're still watching me, is share this with someone. Okay, don't keep this to yourself. When you get something good out of it, share this with someone. And like I said, connect with me on LinkedIn. I'd also love to feature you and figure out how you did this because it gets me super duper excited. All right, fab. What else is going on? Any other questions that you have, that I can help with? Hey, Bharat, how are you? Hey, Sonal, can I throw a few questions career related as per your preferred framework? I got a couple of minutes, Bharat. Let's hang. Um, Shoot, go for it. Okay. Um, why are recruiters rejecting me? Why am I failing to crack the interviews? Lack of personality, no MBA degree, no long work experience, recruiter biases, recruiters doubting me. Oh, good Lord. You're looking for reasons why it's not working, Sunil? Uh, this takes like, it's not easy, right? But these are difficult questions. Um, there are so many things going on. Are they interviewing you because, they saw your resume and they didn't call you back? Or is it because you've had interviews and it didn't work out? Do you know what I mean? Those are two different things. So the resume stuff, if you're not getting a single interview, we need to look at what's going on with your like outreach, with your networking, with your resume. It's like it needs a little bit of that diagnostic, right? If it's interviewing and it's happening multiple times, then yes, as painful as it is, as painful as it seems, you are the common denominator in all of these, right? So something is not clicking, either the messaging, your positioning, either the content, which is what you say, or the delivery, which is how you say it. Something is not clicking. The sooner you can find that out, Sunil, the better, I would say. I have given interviews. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. These 4 or 5 things that I'm talking about. The messaging, the positioning, the content, and the delivery. It's very important to figure that out. I have lots and lots of free resources, Sunil, on my YouTube channel to find out what's going on. Okay. And so many people on YouTube who have free information. Figure out what's going on. And also, I would say this is not advice you're going to hear from many people. So take this with a grain of salt. Okay, sit quietly and just sit with this and understand what's going on, because we have a lot of inner wisdom which we shut down and we numb ourselves out. We numb ourselves with like food and binge watching and all of that. But if you sit quietly and actually listen, you're going to get lots of answers. Okay. Takes a little bit of practice, may not happen right away, but listen to your inner guide, please. And of course, there's lots of people like myself who are on YouTube and sharing a lot of information. I have a whole playlist, Sunil, on interviewing. Um, like hours and hours of content that I know will help you. Okay. So good luck with that. And I'm sorry, that stings, man. That really, really stings, getting the third round and getting rejected. Okay. There are factors which are outside your control, the economy, the other candidate was stronger. I get that. Okay. I like to focus on what's in my control. I like to focus on what's in my control because that's the only thing I can't control the other outcomes, the external stuff that's happening. Okay. I also wanted to say this and I forgot to mention. Give me a sec. In case you missed it, okay. I have a training that I'm doing on Sunday. This Sunday, okay. It's at 4 p.m. Central European time. Okay, so just see what that is in your local time zone. And it's on all things like job search and career stuff. Okay, so I don't do these every day. In fact, the last time I did this training was in December 2024, and I'm shifting things a bit now, and I'm going to be focusing a lot on stories on people like you and me and who have worked with me, right? So we're going to understand why is it that certain things clicked. Okay, there's going to be amazing examples in there of someone who like doubled her income, but it doesn't happen overnight. And I'm going to share what are the tactics that helped some of my clients. So I think that will be very useful. So definitely check out, go to superchargeyourself.com. It's free, attend. Okay. And I'm going to say this upfront because this is how I like to work and I like being transparent. When you sign up to the training, there's going to be a prompt and it's going to say, hey, do you want to book a call and do you want to spend time with me? Okay. So the call is basically to see where is it that you are today? What do you need help with? Maybe I can help. Okay. And I will encourage you to take that call. It's free to attend, but it's for people who are senior and very serious about making a change in their career. So you're going to see there will be an application inside. It's not for like someone who's just started working like a little while ago. This is not the right, my work and my program will not be the right thing for you. It's for people who are more senior, more experienced, I would say mid to senior. And there will be some criteria in there. Check that out. And if you're like, this is not me, don't book the call. Don't worry, that's okay. But you're like, yeah, I am at that minimum income and I think I can definitely be doing more and I can be earning more, then get in touch with me. Okay. Because at the end of that call, we may decide we want to work together, or you may decide, that's okay, I can do this myself. You still have nothing to lose, right? So that would be something that you would do when you sign up for the training. I highly recommend you do that. Go to superchargeyourself.com/training, 6th of December, Sunday, 4 p.m. Central European Time. Most of us are home on Sunday. So if you're sitting at home, might as well hang out, okay, and spend some time together. All right, I'm going to keep this little ticker at the bottom so that I don't forget to mention it because I tend to forget my own stuff sometimes. What's happening, Bharat? After a few timely follow-ups by email after applying online, no one bothers to reply or give a definite update or timeline on the hiring stages. Mhm. So what's the question here, Bharat? Let me know the question. Sunil, so yeah, Bharat, how can I what's your question? Because this is a statement. I get that. Now, if your question is like, let me know what should I do, whatever it is, right? Let's use this sort of approach. Like, my problem is X, my ideal outcome is Y, my question is Z, and you know, I want to go where you're going. I don't want to go in completely like a totally different direction. So let's do that. And the link to book the call, to the link to attend the live training on Sunday is now inside YouTube. Okay, you just have to click it if you don't feel like typing it out yourself, which is like totally fine. I missed your question. Okay, Bharat, that's on me then. Hold on, hold on. Did I miss it? After a few timely follow-ups by email, nobody bothers to reply, or did I miss the question here? I don't know if I did. I don't know. I can't seem to find it. What's up? How would you approach a renowned global employer with a broken HR process? My experience with them last time around late October until early January was painful. Okay, okay. So, Bharat, have they come back to you? Let me more specifically. Have they come back to you? Because I would be very careful now the second time around, once bitten, twice shy, right? Um, so at the same time, I also do recognize, because I've been in all of these places and you have been interviewed before, sometimes hiring processes are broken because people don't care enough, and sometimes there's a regime change, a new set of people come in and then it's improved. So I also like to give them a chance, right? I have nothing to lose, particularly if I'm actively interviewing, or if I'm like passively like, yes, I'm saying yes to calls. You have nothing to lose by saying yes, but I would be careful that I don't let them drag the process too long, because You respect yourself too much. Do you know what I mean? And this happens in the best of companies. Your job is not to sort of, educate them, tell them how it's supposed to be fixed. Your job is to sort of protect yourself here, if that makes any sense. Yeah, automated rejections note on the previous application. What a waste of space. Oh my gosh. Okay. No. Um, let them know that this also, if you feel comfortable with it, let them know that this is your second time around and last time you didn't hear back. So you're happy to take the call, but only if, there is some, commitment here to the process, to the position, to hiring of the position. Okay. So good luck with that. Um, Hey Siddharth, thank you. How are you? Nice to see you. Um, yeah. Oh, hate it when that happens. Hi Sharik. Um, what's the one career move that looks really risky on the surface but almost always pays off? Sharik, what a good question. What is the It's hard to predict, right? Because we all have different appetites for risk. And what is a payoff can also be a debatable thing. What does success look like for one person can look very different for what success looks like another person. You know what I mean? Like outwardly success can be the very traditional way of talking about it, but not if the person is miserable on a day-to-day basis. um but having said that, but now that you're asking, this is quite a tease. I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but I was asked this also on a webinar a couple of months ago. I was asked in a podcast interview. um the biggest risk is either not negotiating your offer when you receive it for the first time, or if you're already inside a company, is not raising your hand and finding out what does it take to move to a higher position and get more money, and to wait for them, the employer, the boss, HR, my HR business partner, my boss's boss, wait for them to take care of me. It looks like a risk because we are often worried about how people are going to think about us. What are they going to think about us? Am I going to look greedy? But it's actually a risk not to. Okay. And the second example I'm going to give is a risk is, I had just thought of it and it's escaped me. Yeah. The second one is still not coming to me 100%. It's kind of coming to me. It's rocking the boat when things look really good on paper and saying that you're going somewhere else. I would say it's a risk not to, because if the desire is to grow, if you're ambitious, then the enemy of growth and the enemy of ambition is comfort. So it may look risky that you're getting out of your comfort zone, you're doing something else, that is maybe a different industry, different geography, different function, whatever it is. But also like taking on a role where you're like taking less income. It looks like it screams to the outside world like, wow, this person's such a failure, right? But I am a big fan of one step back and two steps forward. And I have been in those shoes. And maybe there's somebody else who's watching me right now has been in your, if you feel free to share with this with me. For the right role, I have taken a pay cut and it paid off later. It's okay. Money will come. So those are a few things that I can think of. I'm sure there's plenty more, but such a good question. What about someone, you're watching me right now? When you read this question, does something come up for you? Is there anything that comes up for you? Feel free to share what, according to you, looks risky on paper, but is actually, it has a strong payoff. Hi, Rajiv. Rajiv, I'm so sorry for this frustration. Why don't recruiters reply or pick up the call? We just talked about this a little bit earlier. Maybe you catch the replay. I can't answer for recruiters. Some processes are broken. Some recruiters are just schmucks. Sorry to say. Like in every function, you'll have good people, you'll have not so good people. right? Hey Bharat, in my email newsletter, they often provide a boost and morale. Thank you so much, Bharat. I'm so happy that you like the newsletter. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, Bharat is a trusted, subscriber to my newsletter. I send it out once or twice a week. Check it out, superchargeyourself.com. Everything is superchargeyourself.com, and it'll be there on the homepage. Like, I think it's / newsletter. And I like writing. It's fun. So I like to read as well. I like writing, but I like reading as well. So I like to write what I like to read. So I keep it light, I keep it fun because life's too short, boring stuff. I'm like, nah. So I really appreciate that, Bharat. Thank you so much. Hey, Shankar, you're welcome. Ooh, congratulations. Amazing. Get in touch with me. I want to hear more about this. I love featuring these kind of stories. I love, um, if you feel good about it, I love getting testimonials like this as well on my LinkedIn because these are real people who've taken advice. So it's not like, when someone sees someone's content and they're like, this would never work for me. It works. Lots of stuff works. So amazing. How do you increase the salary in your current company? How do you ask for a raise? Venkat, such a good question. Um, Thanks for being here, Siddharth. Appreciate you joining live. I talk about this in a lot of detail in a video of mine, which is on performance appraisals because they're very interlinked. Okay. And I did another interview very recently with Corn and Ferry, and we talked about this. And I have a very different view on this. Okay. A lot of people will say, go and build a case on why you deserve more and say, this is it. I like a little bit more of a collaborative approach, and I'd like to know what's going on with them, what's important to them, and also share where I see myself going. At this time next year, I'd like to be doing X, Y, and Z. What do you think? How can we do this together? And I'm also interested in what are the goals of the company, what are my department's goals, what are my manager's goals, and how can I contribute to that? So my view is more on that. It's a bit more sort of longer term. When I say longer term, I mean 1 year. And as opposed to this is what you need to pay me. I deserve a raise. It's all about me, me, me. So check those pieces of content. They're all on my YouTube channel. I don't have tons and tons of videos. I have a lot of live streams, but I don't have a lot of videos. So these are some recent videos of mine that I think you'll find useful, Venkat. All right. So good luck with that. HR in my company still remembers me for grilling them with questions in the final round and got a really good pay. I got interviewed for data scientist 1, but they moved me to data scientist 2. How do I say this without showing off, Shankar? HR, I've been in those shoes, dude, for the better part of 2 decades. So they still remember you. It's because you got an HR advisor on your team. And I was damn good at my job when I was doing this stuff. So mention pay parity. Thank you for your wonderful negotiation. I'm really happy. Shankar, reach out and connect with me, okay? Send me a little note and LinkedIn because I get a lot of invites. I just want to make sure that I don't miss yours, okay? Amazing. Well done, well done, well done. Happy Friday, Noel. I hope you're doing well. And Fab, did I miss any questions? If I did, feel free to repeat them in the bottom because now it's like 34 minutes past time. I was also 5 minutes late to be safe. Okay. I'm just going to hang out for a minute or so. If there are no other questions, I'm going to let you go hang out with your family or your work or your dog or your cat, whatever is going on, yourself. You got to enjoy your own company, right? It's a giant bee. Can you hear? Shh. No, I asked you if you can hear, and the bee stopped buzzing. When I talk, the bee buzzes. Otherwise, the bee stops buzzing. Little slightly petrified because I got stung once and had a little bit of a swollen, but luckily nothing bad happened. Okay. I recently presented an interview exercise. They asked if I used AI, and I said, yeah, as a basis of thinking. And they said, that's great. We actually. If you're using, if you're not using AI for research, for interviews, why the hell not? It's like saying, I have I need to look for someone's company information where they work, and I'm going to open up Yellow Pages. It's like saying this in 2006 when LinkedIn was there. It's like saying this in 2006 that I'm going to go through the yellow pages. Dude, if we have the resource, why will we not use it? So AI is for me like that, right? And there are some amazing shortcuts to using AI. And I do this with my clients as well inside my program. So speaking of which, amazing. He might be asking a question. Who's he? Feel free to share. Speaking of which, look at the ticker below. Enlist. If you're stressed out and a little bit worried or just like plain pissed off about your job search and you're struggling with it, and I would say you're like mid to senior level, consider just coming to my live training on Sunday. Okay. I'm doing this after 4 months, and I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite tips inside on how you can secure amazing jobs. I'm going to share my own experience, and I'm also going to be sharing some of the best practices that my clients have used to land roles, including contractor roles and permanent roles, and also roles inside their own company. By the way, I'm going to be sharing a lot of those examples. That all of these resulted in like much better pay, right? Because at the end of the day, what's the point of working with someone if you can't quadruple your investment or triple? Is that a word? 5 times, quadruple, pentuple, 6 times. A client of mine got 11 times return on her investment. We did a case study chat a couple of weeks ago. I don't even know how you say times 11. I can't even say times 5, but you get the message, right? So click the link, come to the live training, and book the game plan call with me. Okay. I'm giving only a few spots open for the next few days. So let me help you. The bee. It's so annoying. When I say, can you hear him? And I keep quiet, the bee keeps quiet. It's so annoying. All right. The bee movie. Okay, the bee movie continues. All right, take care of yourselves. I don't think there are any more questions. And I'm here every Friday, right? So don't hesitate to reach out. And I shall see you on Sunday. Come to the live training on Sunday. Go to superchargeyourself.com/training on all things job search and career advancement.